Have you ever heard of an assay office? It's a facility where the quality and purity of precious metals like gold, silver, platinum, they're tested and certified there. The process called assaying involves analyzing a sample of metal to determine its composition and value. The Historical Preservation Group calls the Boise office one of the most historic and important buildings in the state of Idaho. And new finds during construction is telling us more about our past. Hunter Funk reports.
Between the bustling streets of downtown Boise stands a building that once determined the very worth of Idaho's most precious treasures. Authorized by the federal government in 1869 and $75,000 later, the Boise Assay Office was built in 1872. It played a vital role in the state's booming mining industry. The office was the final authority on what was truly worth its weight in gold. It's easy to walk past it, but just steps away from the building are traces of the past. After digging a trench to put in a new utility line from the building to the street,
we told the contractors, in certain areas, if you find anything, you need to let us know immediately. And so the work began in July. In August, I ended up with a phone call from the foreman that they had found something.
At the foundation of the building, archaeologist Chris Shaver dug up more history from the mining days.
This is a discarded crucible. There's still material in it. When the assay office would receive an ore deposit, they would place it in here and it would be put into the firing and they would basically melt it. And then we had the next one, which is a score fire, and there's quite a few of these. This even has a maker's mark. We also came across a button. This military button dates sometime between, it's a general service infantry button, and it dates to somewhere between 1855 and 1875.
At the time, it was normal for people to bury things they wanted to throw away. Like they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
It allows us to actually provide a more concrete understanding of where it came from, the time frame it came from. Because if materials are being brought in from England or Paris, there's reasons why certain things arrived at certain times.
This is just the start of some of their finds. They removed what was in the trench to finish the restoration project, but there's still more to be found.
It's exciting, the information, the research is where it really comes together. That's the part where I love it most. But it is kind of nice just to go out your back door of your office and, there's your archaeological site.
All right, what comes next? Well, they're working with the University of Idaho and their students and hope to get a grant to help them keep digging all across the lawn. They collected items that were dug up from this project, but again, they're hoping to look for more on the property.
Wow, okay, you mentioned things coming from Paris. It's not an easy feat to get to Idaho during the 1870s.
This is kind of sad, Joe. So everything that came from Boise in the 1870s, right, 1880s, they came by freight wagon.
Sure.
And this is because at the time we didn't have the railroad until 1883. So railroad would stop in northern Utah and northern Nevada. So if you were bringing it from there, you had to do by oxen, wagon, or horse, really. You would bring things from London and Paris that way. So this would have to cross the ocean, and then it would get used to test metals, and then it would just be tossed to the lawn. Isn't that crazy?
That is super unfortunate,
yeah.
But what a super story to tell here on the 208.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
All right, Hunter Funk, appreciate your time. We will be right back.